Hello there everyone, I'm uxwbill, and if you know anything about me at all, you'll know that out of my many fascinations, one of them has to do with barcode technology, such as the very common universal product code that you'll find, well, almost universally on any product offered for sale in many kinds of different retail environments. So deep runs my fascination, in fact, that several years ago I made a video talking about a cool website of the day known as UPCdatabase.com. That particular site is still online and still doing much the same thing that it was way back then. In the course of making that video, I also showed off my keyboard wedge, or as they are more commonly, if rather informally known, a handheld barcode scanner. I think the technology is absolutely fascinating, but those are certainly something of a specialty item, and as with many specialty items, the price tag tends to be rather high. When you go looking for them, it's like that thing that happens in cartoons where the characters' eyes turn into dollar signs and you hear a ka-ching kind of a sound. Well, a friend of mine recently made me aware of an inexpensive wireless handheld barcode scanner. And by inexpensive in this case, I mean right on the order of $27 delivered, so long as you live in the United States of America. I would imagine that anyone who lives outside the United States is going to have to find a variant of this product for sale locally, or they just won't be able to get one. You don't have to think about this for too long to realize that yes, indeed, I did in fact buy one of these, and we are going to take a very quick look at it. This is going to be a quickie video review just to see what we get and whether or not it is actually worth having. If this is actually a barcode scanner or just a can of yams cleverly disguised as one. This does not work with older computers, although in this case older computers would have to be particularly prehistoric examples, as computers have, generally speaking, had USB ports for nearly, if not more than 20 years by now. Some of the earliest machines to have them didn't actually break them out, or the hardware wasn't usable despite having the needed logic present on the board. But if you have a computer that was made any time in the last millennium for sure, not that that's been much time, then you have everything you need to make this work. So let's see what we get. There's a USB cable. This is actually used to charge the battery inside the barcode wand itself. We'll get that out here because that's the main attraction of the show. It fits my hand pretty well. I'd say it's pretty comfortable to hold, and while it does feel kind of light and cheap, I don't feel as though it would break. Hey, the battery's even somewhat charged in it. Uses a laser instead of a simple LED like my other keyboard wedge does. You also get a charger. This is very light. It probably does horrible things to medium wave and shortwave radio broadcast reception in your area. So my suggestion would be that after you've charged the thing up, that you throw this away and get something better. Oh hush, that's no way to talk on a video like this. So let's see, do we get any instructions that actually tell us how to use this thing? Why, yes we do. Are they actually something that can be understood and read relatively easily? If the Handycam would only focus. They look entirely decent so far, so I think I'll read over some of these and see what's involved in getting started. And as soon as I've done that, we'll be right back thanks to the magic of video editing. Well, in what's probably a sure sign of great things to come, later in this video, as soon as I plugged the barcode scanning wand into the computer, I made the operating system very unhappy. Looking into the barcode scanner's manual, I see an interesting passage in the manual that says the scanner has been set up well before delivery. I don't know if that means it's been set up well before delivery or if that means it's been set up well before delivery. One of those being in the properly configured sense and the other being in the chronological sense. You just have to love the ambiguity of the English language, don't you? In any event, it would behoove you to keep this manual because, as with so many other barcode scanners, the configuration codes are actually present in here. And given that this is an anonymous Chinese item made by heaven only knows who, you might not be able to source another copy of this manual. And while you might have some luck by pointing your barcode scanning wand at the screen and seeing if it would actually read any of these codes, which it might actually manage to do so, I probably don't have the codes that you need to configure your scanner appropriately visible right now, because I'm not going to go through all of them. There are many, many pages of them. I did go ahead and run the configuration reset code, and still the computer is unhappy with the USB connection made by this scanner, and it does actually support operating in wired USB mode. So either this scanner doesn't work at all, or it's just not very happy with this particular computer for some reason or another. But if it only works over wireless, that's fine with me, because that's exactly why I bought it. So we'll try that next, just as soon as the battery is done charging. Alright folks, we've reached the point where we're ready to go ahead and try looking some things up here just to see if this thing does in fact work and if it was worth the money I paid for it. So let's go ahead and just try it out. I've got a couple of things here with universal product code barcodes on them. The user's manual for this thing and all of the configuration barcodes are really something of a configuration mania sort of a thing, but I figure even if you have the most remedial knowledge of product barcode technology, you'll be able to figure it out pretty quickly. And in fact, here are some hints. Usually what you're looking for is an EAN 13 barcode, with some having 12 digits as in the type A barcode. But in any event, when you get it set up, you should be able to do something like this. Alright, that product is not actually in their file, so we'll go ahead and we'll try the package of batteries. And that one did work. So, to make a long story much shorter than usual, I think this thing is actually worth the money, especially if you just so happen to be curious about product barcode technology. And I am certainly not an expert, but I can tell you this. This gets the UXWbill seal of approval. To be fair, I did not get it to work over a wired connection, but when it comes with this cute little wireless dongle, well, who honestly cares? Do it that way and live the happy life along with all the rest of us. So thank you as always for watching, and certainly do feel free to leave a comment if you have something interesting and useful to say, or even if you have something boring. I'll settle for about anything, really, even criticism, as long as it's constructive.